Can Dooku defeat Saruman?
Name: Saruman. Titles: Saruman of Many Colours. Formerly the White, formerly the Wise. Race: Maya. Occupation: Wizard. Affiliations: Ally of Sauron. Formerly the White Council. Base of power: Orthanc, Isengard. Powers and abilities. Magical abilities. Telekinesis: Saruman can manipulate objects at a distance, including large structures. Illusion and persuasion: Saruman casts illusions, deceives minds, and manipulates others. Elemental control: Saruman demonstrates fire, smoke, and storm manipulation at a large scale. Voice of command: his speech can compel obedience or sway entire armies. Enhanced senses and perception: Saruman can detect movements, intentions, and magical presences. Combat abilities. Staff combat: Saruman is skilled in magical dueling using his staff as both conduit and weapon. Summoning and control: he commands an army of orc-goblin hybrids, outlaw men, and beasts effectively. Siege mastery: he is an expert at using technology and magic to fortify or destroy strongholds. Tactical abilities. Saruman is a master strategist in both open battles and political maneuvering. He anticipates enemy moves using intellect and foresight. Employs deception, feints, and psychological warfare. Weaknesses. Overconfidence and pride often blind him to threats. Reliance on magical artifacts and minions makes him vulnerable if separated. Moral corruption makes him unpredictable and internally conflicted. Physical combat without magic or staff is limited. Relies on manipulation and power projection. Notable achievements. Saruman crafted alliances and armies in Isengard, including orc-goblin bred hybrids. He led the White Council before his fall, demonstrating immense political and magical influence. Withstood attacks from other powerful beings, showcasing his durability and magical resilience. Versus scenario notes. Range: he is excellent, can attack or manipulate from a distance using magic or armies. Mid-range: he is powerful, capable of controlling battlefield with spells, illusions, and terrain advantage. Close quarters: he is moderate, relying on staff and magic. Vulnerable to fast melee opponents. Strategic rating: he is very high, always calculates several steps ahead. Danger rating: he is extreme, magical power combined with intellect makes him a major threat.
Name: Dooku. Alias: Tyrannus. Titles: Count, Lord, Darth. Species: Human. Occupation: Separatist leader, Sith Lord. Affiliations: Confederacy of Independent Systems. Sith Order, formerly Jedi Order. Base of power: Castle Sereno, Planet Sereno. Powers and abilities. Force abilities. With telekinesis via the Force, Dooku is precise and powerful. He can disarm, restrain, or crush opponents with ease. With Force lightning, Dooku can stop opponents in their tracks, incapacitating them or worse. With mind influence and persuasion via the Force, Dooku can subtly manipulate or dominate opponents' mental state. He excels at coercion and psychological pressure. Through Force precognition, Dooku anticipates attacks and enemy behavior through deep Force awareness. With Tutamanis, energy absorption, via the Force, Dooku can absorb or redirect energy attacks, including blaster fire and Force lightning. Combat abilities. Lightsaber combat. Form 2, Makashi Mastery, designed specifically for lightsaber dueling. Emphasizes precision, economy of motion, and exploiting opponent weaknesses. Particularly effective against aggressive or physically dominant fighters. Force-enhanced combat. Seamlessly integrates Force powers into saber combat. Excels in one-on-one duels rather than chaotic melees. Tactical abilities. Dooku is a supreme battlefield commander, coordinating fleets, droid armies, and political agents. Manipulates galactic events to weaken enemies before combat begins. Uses apprentices, assassins, and proxies to avoid unnecessary risk. Thrives in controlled engagements where preparation favors him. Weaknesses. Due to age and physical decline, Dooku relies heavily on skill and the Force rather than stamina or strength. Due to his experience, skill, and power with the Force, Dooku is shown to be overconfident, leading him to underestimate opponents. Dooku suffers from an ideological blindness. He believes he can use the dark side to bring order without being consumed by it. Dooku is less effective in prolonged engagement. Best in structured duels or planned battles, not attrition warfare. Notable achievements. One of the most respected Jedi Masters prior to his fall. Helped engineer the Clone Wars alongside his master. Trained General Grievous and led the Separatist military effort. Defeated or stalemated multiple elite Jedi, including Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. Versus scenario notes. Range. Dooku is very strong. Force lightning, telekinesis, and battlefield manipulation. Mid-range. He is excellent. Combines force control with elegant saber work. Close quarters. Dooku is deadly, among the galaxy's finest duelists, lethal in single combat. Strategic rating. Extremely high. He is a political, military, and psychological warfare expert. Danger rating. Extreme. He is a Sith Lord whose intellect rivals his combat prowess.
Battlefield assumptions. Neutral terrain, ruined fortress/open stronghold. No outside armies, Uruk-hai droids, etc. Both are aware of each other's nature. Peak versions. Count Dooku, Clone Wars era. Saruman of Many Colours. Phase 1 opening engagement long range. Saruman opens with voice of command, attempting to destabilize Dooku's focus. He commands the elements, launching an assault of stone, wind, smoke, water, and fire to control the battlefield. He tests Dooku with telekinetic force and environmental pressure. Dooku shields his mind via the Force. Sith training resists vocal domination. Uses Force precognition to avoid direct magical strikes. Responds with telekinetic counters and probing lightning bursts. Outcome. Saruman dominates raw environmental control. Dooku adapts quickly and realizes Saruman's magic requires focus and space. Edge. Saruman slight. Phase 2 mid-range escalation. Saruman escalates with focus spellcasting. Crushing stone, binding winds. Attempts to disarm Dooku by targeting his lightsaber directly. Maintains battlefield control rather than committing. Dooku advances methodically, deflecting debris with Force-assisted movement. He uses Force lightning as suppression, forcing Saruman to split attention. He closes the distance deliberately. This is Dooku's plan. Key moment. Saruman attempts a direct telekinetic hold. Dooku breaks it by unleashing arcs of Force lightning at Saruman's staff, using the attack as a distraction. Then advancing with Force-assisted speed and a Force-assisted leap. Edge even. Phase 3. Close quarters combat. Saruman is forced into melee combat, using magic and staff attacks in combination. Strikes are powerful but broad and deliberate. He relies on knockback and magical bursts to keep distance. Dooku, however, enters a Makashi stance. He exploits Saruman's slower physical reactions. Precision saber strikes target the staff, not the body. Turning point. Dooku uses Force push to unbalance Saruman mid-strike, then lands a saber strike that cracks the staff, disrupting Saruman's spell focus. Without full staff integrity, Saruman's control weakens drastically. Edge. Dooku decisive. Phase 4 final exchange. Saruman in desperation attempts a final voice-based attack, then follows with a flurry of elemental attacks. The environment destabilizes violently. Dooku, however, resists through sheer Sith discipline. Closes inside Saruman's casting window. Disarms and delivers a precise finishing strike. Verdict. Winner, Count Dooku. Win ratio, 6.5/10. Why Dooku wins more often. Faster combat speed and reaction time. Superior close quarters lethality. Force abilities disrupt Saruman's reliance on focus and range. When Saruman wins. If he maintains long-range control without allowing engagement. If voice of command fully destabilizes Dooku early. If the environment heavily favors magic amplification. Final takeaway. If distance is maintained, Saruman is unmatched. However, if the gap closes, the Sith Lord ends it.